What's good with everybody? It's your boy John Smooth, and we're gonna talk about what is the meaning to life, right? Because today, life is looked at as you work, you you do what you're told, you do your job, but these jobs are actually detriments, instruments to our own destruction because we're destroying our own planet because the government they seek to mineralize all lands for metals. They seek to oil rig all lands for oils. And if they get rid of all nature, we'll be dependent on them for their technology food, their factory made food. So we're gonna start seeing how, what their evil plans are for what they want for our planet. We're gonna start seeing through it. We're gonna start taking actions to manifest the life that we want, right? The life that we want for our kids. We want our kids to have fruit trees, walk outside. We don't want our kids to have war, divided, following the government, going along to get along, which eventually leads to wars 50 to 80 years where the government oil rigs gain and profit from war, profit from division, because they could promote, artists that are promoting a good message for unity, but they choose to promote division. They choose to promote rappers that demoralize our women. They choose to promote women that demoralize our men. It's all a setup to where the government is bringing what they want out of our people. And it all comes back to what is the meaning to life, the true meaning to life, without, because it has to come to a low point, right? We have to see what evil does and we have to learn from it, right? Because on a micro level, parasites, they get cells to work against strong cells, and eventually things they mix up, and then eventually all cells come together to take out the parasite. So on a physical micro macro level, we are all cells on this bigger body, right? On this bigger body of life, just like how we have cells moving around making up our body. We are the cells on this bigger body making up this bigger body, right? So it's gonna come to a point in our lifetime where we see that, it's gonna come to a point in our lifetime, right, where we see that evil intentions, all of these things, they were their own demise, right? And this is all part of the growth, right? Seeing how the government wanted to do with nature and seeing how we can improve it, right? Because we can, once the sun comes down and technology loses its power, certain things take place. They're not gonna have a lot of the power that they say they have. That's why with all these scenarios, they want to give you a perspective that is the perspective that they're in control of it, but the government is starting to lose control. Nature's starting to become conscious of who the true enemy is, right? Because evil parasites, evil secret societies have been using religion, been using these things to make the earth look at the mass like a parasite. So the karma goes on to us instead of the karma going on to the parasite society that he created, the society that is instead of a create and trade system, it's a create and take system, right? They have people that are creating things and other countries that sustain a lot of food and a lot of nutrients that is still not under oil rigs and factories. So these lands are still, a big part of why the earth hasn't been, how can I say this? The earth hasn't been, because even if we go back to the 1950s, right? The government would have bombed, nuked more than just Japan if ETs didn't come beyond the ice wall and say, hey, y'all can't do this. They came and they're shutting nukes down. I posted in another different video how ETs have been shutting nukes down for a while now. Right? And it all goes back to that point where everyone basically in America that is working and is in the mass, a lot of us come from farmer bloodlines that basically fertilize this planet. And they get these farmer bloodlines to slowly get it from other bloodlines the same way they lost it. They kill all the adults, and then they keep the kids, give them a new history in order to a history of, like, you know, killing nations that aren't dependent on factories, dams, oil rigs. They're demonized with propaganda, right? And news, they're saying that, oh, they're terrorists, but they're literally just defending the land with the guns that the CIA is giving them. So the CIA, they could literally be giving them plants, fruits, everything that they need to have a sustainable ecosystem without factories, without dams, without oil rigs, right? So a lot of these things are by design, right? And going back to what is the meaning to life, the true meaning to life isn't to sacrifice for gain. It isn't to kill another nation to kill a nation with fertile resources to keep going, right? Because we gotta remember, America is one of the last places to truly be taken over in a state of, like, mindset, the land, everything. But everyone in every bloodline, there's going to be light that rises up in every bloodline that will see how this unsustainable system is destroying the planet, and we will create a sustainable system that grows the planet, right? Because it's going back to the wave, macro, micro. We're going to come to a point in this lifetime where everything will come together and grow, right? Everything's going to have to learn. Everything's going to have to understand. You know, it's not just one bloodline that has been played. That's what the government feeds its people, that, oh, every other nation is just, you know, every other nation is just like, you know, they're not holy. But that government will tell that certain group of people that, hey, you guys are the only chosen people. But this is a lie. We all, just like the rainbow, there used to be, every fruit used to be in every color on every landmass, you know. I still have, you know, cousins, family that still talk about purple bananas on the islands, right? So, you know, like, being in America, you know, help invest in the places like that. You know, if you have family down there, invest, right? But at the same time, you know, invest into their growth, invest into helping them plant plants, invest into their villages. Don't just industrialize their lands, because we are literally destroying the planet right now. Like the sun, scientists warn of solar blasts that could knock out the internet, all these signs, and the government is still destroying the planet, still mining the minerals to make evil weapons of mass destruction. But going back to that point, a lot of people in America think that they can just go to the islands and, you know, they're animals, they destroy the planet, so let me just go and usurp their genetics, let me go traffic them for evil societies underground. So this is another aspect we gotta wake up to, right? People are being put in vulnerable states in other islands and places like that. So evil people underground can literally drink their blood and do evil things like that. If you look into Pizzagate, search those things, that kind of things up, you'll see a lot of our politicians, a lot of our celebrities, they're put in front of us and they're basically just being told what to say. They're being told what to say via the contract, because their contract before they sign and take that $10 million deal, $1 million deal, $5 million deal, they have to carry themselves in a certain way that promotes the labels, that promotes the government. So once they sell out, they don't own themselves anymore. Let's get back to the video. Being told what to say by the oil companies, by the factory owners, by the people that want to try to trick nature and kill off the real, right? So we got to wake up. Let's wake up. Let's get back to the video. So going back to that point, right? They could easily be funding these nations that are sustainable in nature with seeds, fruit, plants, without factories, dams. We shouldn't be funding churches. We shouldn't be funding military camps. This isn't right. And if America knew truly what our taxes are going towards, we'd be pissed, because we have Fauci. He killed more people than Hitler, right? He killed over 20 million people with the vaccine back in 2020. And this is more people than Hitler, right? So they got biological weapons. They're experimenting with our DNA. They're experimenting with nature. They're experimenting with animals. So it's going to come to a low point where evil parasites are going to be their own demise. And, they're not going to be able to bring all of this evil to the planet, because these new light waves that are coming in, it's exposing the evil. It's shedding light on what they're truly doing behind the scenes, right? And so, but to finish the video, right, the real meaning to life is to see how everyone is a different part of the whole. There's not one God, right? We're all a different part of the sun, the moon, right? Blue, red. We're all a different part of the light. We're all a different part of the whole. We all have light within us that animates our body, right? We're all string connected to the moon. We're all string connected to the sun. The sun brings life, right? The sun brings vibrance, nutrients, right? And then the moon can also bring nutrients, dew, right? It brings moisture, and the sun comes around, dries that moisture out, smooths everything out, right? And so we have to see how the real meaning to life is to coexist with the planet like a tree, everything in a state of elevation, everything in a state of growth. The meaning to life is not to divide, sacrifice a nation for gain.
The prisoner wishes to say a word.
clip up there to also help people get a feel of how evil empires, slave masters would put the also adding on to that point, the empire would get people, once he had farmer races indoctrinated into his history, he would tell them that if you get these people, if you get it the same way you lost it, because remember, he didn't tell them what he did to his parents. He's just saying, okay, here's your new life. So he would have the empire would have farmer races collecting gold, returning it to the banks, and collecting or doing evil missions of killing empires with fertile systems that sustain the ecosystem, fertile communities that would spread fruit trees, spread seeds throughout the land. But let's get back to the video. Empires, slave masters would put the masses in fear. They would put people in front of mass amounts of crowds, humiliate them for rituals and for royal bloods, to drink the blood of these people that stood up against them. I mean, it really is sick. But they did this in order to humiliate that person that stood up and to not get anyone to stand up again. But as time goes on, these evil ways of drinking the blood of our leaders, these ways are going to die out. Check out Truth on Celebrities and Politicians if you want to know more about that. But let's get back to the video. I'd sacrifice a nation for gain. That's not the meaning to life. The meaning to life is to coexist, appreciate everyone for what they grow. Because in a trading society, trading system, which we will return to, everyone has a role to play. Everyone isn't just, because the government, they want to synthesize, they want to predict our actions, they want to experiment with our DNA, they want to have superpower DNA and be able to just use light as a toy and just be able to inject light in any vessel they want to. But this isn't going to work out. All of these technologies they try to destroy the mass with, weapons of mass destruction. All of these weapons they're making, it will be their own demise, right? Them trying to control what wasn't really meant for the control. Humans were never meant for controlling. Humans were meant for teamwork. Coexistence, seeing and appreciating how everyone is a different part of the whole, right? Everyone, is a different piece of truth that we need to see what's really going on here. Because if you are so close-minded only into your culture, into what your slave master history told you, you will never find the truth. But if you look into different cultures, how the governments are usurping different aspects of nutrients from different people, right? Okay, the French, they wanted to torture. So Russians, they wanted to rape the Chinese, right? China doesn't even own China. You feel what I'm saying? And if they do, they're sold out. But a lot of the time, over time, evil royal bloodlines have gotten every single bloodline, they have gotten them to look at humanity like cattle. This is what manifests their reality, right? But as these things break down, people start to see the true meaning to life, which is to coexist, not to destroy. We will start to see that, things weren't meant to be used. Things were meant to be loved. And so that's the video, right? What is the meaning to life? The meaning to life is to love, understand, not to forget and disassociate, right? That's what they want humans to do. They want us to just become AI, become synthesized. They predict all our actions. We don't know who we are. They know who we are. That's what they want. And they want to hide our true history of fertilizing this beautiful green earth There's also evil vampires, evil nuns, evil secret societies. You know, they would write English and they would explain mythology. I'm gonna make a video about this too in the future. But they would explain mythology or people that fertilize the land, you know, Thor, all these ancient beings, or, you know, they couldn't explain it in any other way but a god. But basically he was protecting the planet using elements of nature to protect the planet, not using elements of nature like the government does today to destroy the planet and to destroy the cells for evil intents. But let's get back to the true history of fertilizing this beautiful green earth, right? And we will come back to that, right? Share this video, like this video, please comment. If you have questions, please ask questions. You can hit me up on IG as well, John Smooth, 2 H's. What is the meaning to life? Let's get this real, y'all. Let's get a real perspective. We are all one. Nothing is divided. Everything is Bluetooth connected, right? They want us to think everything is so separate in order to manifest these evil sacrificial ways of slowly rooting out our leaders, right? Every bloodline had a leader that stood up to the government over time, right? And so we're going to start seeing how these ways of all the sciences, a lot of the sciences they taught us, right? They're all fake. They're all theories that don't add up. Even the globe earth, right? Y'all can research this. There's more evidence for the flat. I also show this clip of where they literally use flat earth maps for their logos. But let's get back to the video. More evidence for the flat earth and the globe earth, right? Because first off, how is a satellite with no wing propulsion just floating in the air? That's a balloon. Second, how is the globe, how is the sun 93 million miles away? That's third, right? Or second. And then how are we spinning millions of miles an hour, right? And I'm just chilling right here. We're stationary. The North Star never moves, right? And we have to wake up. We have to see what's really going on here. What's the meaning to life? It's John Smooth. I'm out. Peace.